issues at that level, there's a reason why you have elected and also appointed representatives.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you have traditional rulers and religious leaders. These are people that directly interact with you day after day and understand your complexities. We have the leadership at the state level who are pretty much the presidents of your state.
Yes.
So you cannot drag
the number one
from
citizen.
the national level to come in. And if you're talking about lawmakers, you have state house of assemblies.
Of course.
But a lot of times when issues arise, policies arise, we are looking at the national government. We're not asking our state house of assembly members what's going on. We're not asking our state house of assembly, how is it that I was not consulted while these motions or bills were being put together? How is it that there was no public hearing, there was no conversation, there was no discussion? If you're pushing a health policy, for example, something on maybe health insurance or maternal health care, how is it that the commission, the health commission was not consulted? How is it that nurses or doctors or healthcare workers in that community or that state are not being consulted? These are things we're not talking about. If we're talking about national government, how many of us understand the roles? And then we just talk about most of the problems are usually implementation. We have great policies. They may have their gaps, but we do have amazing policies. I think we even have policies for every issue you can think of in Nigeria. However, when it comes to implementation, there's a huge gap. When you ask me, where is the problem of implementation? It's not your lawmakers. But we are shouting at House of Assembly and National Assembly.
Yes.
It is your executive. Who are the executive? The ministries, the commissions. How many times have you seen Nigerians going to Ministry of Health to hold placard? We all go to National Assembly. They pass the laws. If you're not there to say, review this before it's being assented or passed into a bill, then you should be going to Ministry of Health, Ministry of Power, Ministry of Environment to say, this bill, I've done my research and I know that there are about 3 bills that are related to this particular issue. And I know that this organization or this ministry is supposed to do this is supposed to, but you've not done it, or the budget for this, because every ministry has a budget
and it has to go through the right
the budget
direction
line or the budget item for this. What has been done? Who is the contractor that was engaged? Are you working with any private sector member? Are you working with a civil society member? Are you working with individuals? Who are they? We don't track that. So and when you make the mistake of focusing on one person, you give a leeway for other people to say, these ones, they're not even putting eye on us, so we can misbehave. And that's what is happening. So education gap, ignorance, not understanding the roles and responsibilities, and then sometimes distrust. Over time, there has been consistent irresponsibility by leaders. They have not delivered to the extent. It's years of democracy, years of leadership, years of elections, and we could say that the margin is very little when it comes to improvement or sustainable development. We're still struggling with strike.
Yeah.
We're still struggling with minimum wage. We're still struggling with power. It's crazy. We're still struggling with roads, even in the FCT. Aside the city center, if you go to area councils, there are no roads, proper roads to navigate. These are issues that we shouldn't still be struggling with today. So, do we understand the process? Do we understand who to hold accountable?
That's the thing.
Do we have leaders that have delivered so that I can trust you enough to say, fine, this is just maybe an error or a setback, but you will deliver? These are some of the issues. For some other citizens, there are people that they just do not care. Some leaders, they also just do not care. It's just either a retirement plan for them or last resort. I have looked for a job everywhere. Politics seems like easy money. So let me go there. As long as I have some money to fund and then I will get my returns. That's it. Again, I think systems, if you do not have a system that works, where feedback, consultation, communication is open, then there's a problem. It's very important to have
because the feedback will also help you to know your stand and know your flaws, what you're doing better and what you need to improve and all of that.
So these are some of the challenges and gaps when we're talking about citizens' engagement with their representatives, as well as engagement of representatives with the citizens.
All right, people, there you have it. Right now is a Civic Matters segment, and right here I am having this conversation with Zukwe, right? Anyway, with Zugwai Takwai. All right, I guess I'm trying. I'm rehearsing faster. All right, and right about now we're having a conversation surrounding around driving engagement between citizens and elected representatives right here in the studio. Well, let's go on a quick break, and when I come back, we'll get to open the phone line so that you will also get to hear your own thoughts, what you think can be done better for us to have this better country and nation that we envisage. Keep it locked in. Don't go nowhere. Holy Ray and Zukwe. We'll be right back.
Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, here to stay. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, here to stay.
Hello, welcome back. It is good to know that you are still tuned right here with us on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Holy Ray is still in the building, and of course, this is Civic Matters segment. And right here, I am having a discussion with Zukwe Takwe. She is a good governance advocate and a humanitarian activist with experience in project management, advocacy in the areas of public policy, gender exclusion, civic participation, and peace building. And of course, an alumni of Yali West African Emerging Leaders Program and Mandela Washington Fellowship. All right. Zukwe holds a bachelor's degree in international studies and a certificate in public leadership and policy from the School of Politics, Policy and Governance, that is SPPG. You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, and of course, we are having a conversation around the driving engagement between citizens and, of course, elected representative. That is what we are talking about. Like I said before, that when we get back from the break, I was going to open the phone lines because I have a question for you. And of course, Civic Matters, it's something that involves everybody, everyone, every hands on deck. Let me use that one. So it's every hands on deck. Every hands on deck. All right, so let me know what you think all right, the importance of citizens engagement in governance. What do you think that will come for us? Let me know what you think about the importance of citizens engagement in governance. All right, our lady right here has told us what she thinks about it, but I also want to know your own thought. I want to know what you think and from your angle. And of course, before we keep up this conversation, all right, you know that this program is brought to you by ProMat Foundation. All right, so ProMat Foundation is the person or the company, the organizers that brought this to you, and that is because they want us to have a better Nigeria. And of course, right now there are a whole lot of funds going on their social media handles. All right, so ProMat, you can follow them, ProMat, the Civic Matters on social media handles. Their social media handles, follow them, the Civic Matters on all social media handles. And of course, there are some quiz and questions on their handles here, there, and there, where you can always air your opinion and your thoughts, of course. And so you have to follow at ProMat NG on X and ProMat Foundation on Facebook, of course. And then LinkedIn and Instagram, you follow at the Civic Matters on X, the Civic Matters on Facebook. All right, so let's keep up the conversation. So right now, let's go more to talk about the strategies to overcome these challenges and foster a more inclusive governance process.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I know you've spoken a few about some of them, but I would like you to throw more light for whoever is just joining us to have a recap of what we are talking about.
Okay, so earlier we talked about challenges or gaps that we have as both citizens and legislators or elected representatives, legislative, executive, judiciary, and even non-elective leaders. Challenges, there is no it's important that we don't just talk about challenges and problems that we have. It's very important that we have solutions. I think that we all know the problems. The issue is drafting out, sitting down, analyzing, doing a critical thinking, and then bringing about solutions that are practical and effective enough to address these problems long term. I would say that in addressing some of these challenges, it begins with education, sensitization, awareness, whatever you want to call it. And we are all responsible for this.
Yeah.
In educating yourself, a lot of us have access to the internet. So my question to you is, what do you do with your phone? What do you do with your laptop? Are you just a movie watcher? Are you just the social media, tweets, fight everybody, post, Saturdays are for Owambes? And the decisions that are made in the space, political governance space, affects you. Whether you decide to participate or not, it affects you. So I think the best option for you is to make an intentional decision to participate. And that starts with educating yourself. Educating yourself doesn't mean going to school to study. It means go on that social media, listen to conversations happening, go back, Google, do research. What has been said in this area? What has been done? What has not been done? Who are those that are engaged or responsible for these issues that are being discussed? And how can I engage in my own way?
Yeah.
Educate yourself by engaging the media. I think the media also have the bulk of the work to do. A lot of citizens trust the media so much that anything they hear or read, in fact, I think that is the problem now. Anything they see, media posts, anything, newspaper. I remember before the internet blew up.
Yeah.
When you go to a newspaper stand early in the morning, that is where you find Nigerians will gather. People will fight on top headline.
Yeah.
They will not read the content.
They
just headline.
They wouldn't even go
They are
deep
arguing,
in
they are
depth.
fighting. Media has a huge responsibility on what they project out there, what they tell citizens. We need to move away from just wanting publicity for our media stations or media houses to addressing issues, to being intentional about creating solutions and driving engagement. It is the media that has easy access to our leaders and easy access to citizens. Whatever you project, and you have direct access to these people because you have the radio, you have the newspaper, you have the internet, you have the television. So whoever, whatever strata or status you belong to, you can engage the media. So media, we need to be able to put the right content out there. We need to be able to educate ourselves also. Please don't do this thing that you just go for an event, or they invite you for an event, you go late because you have to go to 10 events in one day, and then you just say, hey, waiting, then talk with it, I beg, give me the no. Be there. If you're going, everybody has a beat.
Involved.
Everybody has a beat in the media.
Yes.
Stick to your beat. If you can't be everywhere, don't be everywhere. Let another media house. It's not a competition.
At all.
We're all working together. Stay where you are. Get the real thing. Engage with the real expert. Don't just go about interviewing random people to talk about issues. Interview people that understand the issues, that have the right content to give you, so that you're giving the right news out there.
Relevant content.
And then work with organizations, work with ministries, work with commissions to get details on how they're implementing issues, how they're going about with execution, so that you also engage the citizens on that. Another thing that media can do for us is also to ensure continuity on certain issues. We have this thing about trends. We can be fighting about the CBN issue on deductions for cyber.
Yes.
And then somebody dressed, they gave somebody an award, and we're not sure what the award was for. And then that's the gist. It distracts you from the real issue. Media, stay on an issue and drive it home. If it takes a year, stay on that issue. We need to get to a point where a media house decide, if it's minimum wage, I'm going to stay on this issue from the start of this push till the end. Carry that story. For citizens, individual education, don't wait for anybody to educate you. Intentional efforts to do it. We have what we call public hearings. How many of us actually engage in public hearings?
Yeah.
In our communities, local governments, do we know that every legislators are supposed to have constituency offices? Legislators, do you know you're supposed to have a constituency office? The constituency office is where you go, you consult with your citizens to say, these are the issues I want to put forward to say my people need challenges, or these are things that they want to see reflect in the national body or the state body. Now, are these issues that you really want? What are the gaps? What have I done right? What have I not done? This is the place where this thing happens. Do we know that we can engage our governments by taking pictures of things that they said they're doing but are not doing, putting it out there to say, what have you done? How long have you been doing it? Who is in charge? What do you need? How much was executed? Do we know we can follow the budget to know what was given? Have you used it? Have you not used it? There are so many incomplete projects, or projects that are not even, they are whitewash projects, meaning that it's in the budget but it's not there.
It's not there.
And there are organizations that if you don't even want to do the work as a citizen, see, there are organizations that are doing the work for you. Budget Tracker, Code, Citizens Monitor, ProMad, Yaga, Enough is Enough. There are so many organizations out there. Just go to their page and just see what they're doing.
Sorry, I see that our lines are beeping. Like awesome. Someone wants to say something, or they want to ask questions. So let me open the phone line so that we can know who is there and what they want to say. All right, so join the conversation 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. You can also send us a WhatsApp message to 09097054450. What do you think are those questions that you want to ask our guest right here? Or like I said earlier, my question will be that, what do you think the involvement, all right, your participation in government, what do you think that can do for us as a country? So the importance of citizens' engagement in governance, what do you think that would do for us as a country? How do you think it will work for us? Would we be a better country, Nigeria, than where we are now? Or what do you think will that be? So let me know your thoughts on 090-7353-0044. Sorry that we didn't pick your call earlier. You know, when we are talking, it's just flowing, so it's just there. All right, so let's know, and then from there we'll keep up the conversation. All right, now you are really elaborating on how things should be done, and in as much as we're concerned, this is a country where sometimes those places and those let me say those projects rather needs to be followed up, and when there is no one to follow up to ascertain if this was done or it's not done, it can only be there until another person comes on board. So go on.
So I think that we actually all have access to knowing if a project is done or not done. It has to do with intentionality of a person.
Definitely.
For example, if I live in Abuja, and let's say the community or environment where I live, if I'm intentional and I'm worried about, let's say, water or education, primary education or primary health care, I'm going to go and say, oh, has there been a budget that was allocated to the FCT where, okay, there was a line item that said there is going
sorry
to be
about that.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on the Civic Matters. Let's hear you.
I just want to appreciate our visitor, and I just want to appreciate.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is Purity.
Yeah, Purity. You, right?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Very much. I'm so happy for you. I like your voice so much.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You see, when I said you were beautiful, you thought I was just trying to make you blush and all of that. So you see, one thing I know for sure is that whatever you say right here, you are definitely changing someone's mindset and narrative towards how they see themselves and how they act going forward. So you can see that from the caller right there. So over to you.
Okay, so I was saying that it depends on how intentional we are.
Yes.
I would go check the budget. Is there a line so in the budget that says so amount was allocated for so construction or for so need that has to do with that particular health issue? And then when was it allocated? How much?
Hello.
Yeah, somebody has picked already.
Please go ahead.
Only Rain, and I greet your guest. Please, what do you call her name again?
My name is Zugwai Tagwai.
I'm working into that.
Yes, it's a Nigerian name. It's a Nigerian name.
Okay, Nigeria. I know. We're all Nigerians. We know now, but everybody know where it come from. So.
All right, let's
That's
get.
you know, until when we will project Nigeria, it's when government will take away place of birth, state of origin, and replace it with place of birth.
Yes.
That is when we truly claim to be a Nigerian. But as long as when you go to offices to seek for job, they will ask you state of origin, automatically where you come from or surface. So we cannot do without that. So that's it. Then, like the topic you raised, is very essential topic. You know what is really killing us in this country is information. You understand? Lack of information is what is killing us. And some people are less concerned about politics. They tell you they don't like politics. They don't interfere. What is their opinion of politics? And I tell them everybody about Nigeria needs to be involved in politics so that you understand the happening in the country. Because there is politics everywhere. You understand, even in family, even in the church, even in society and stuff like that. So you need to understand the policy and also understand the politics. That's where we can be able to hold our government responsible. You get that right?
Yes,
people that are people that are key to this information, like these are our guests. They are few in this country. Some people don't even know their right. And sometimes when you go demanding your right, they will not attend to you. They will look at you. What is wrong with this guy? When I travel, I went to my local government. I want to do some verification. Nobody give me attention. They say who I am. You know, from where? You know, until I was able to identify myself, they give me attention. So sometimes they don't. Those information we are seeking to get. Sometimes they don't give you that. They don't give you that information. You get that right? Even if you want to know, they won't. It's a situation whereby you want to get information, and the relevant authority that's supposed to give you this information are not giving you this information. Where will you go, and how will you now demand for the information? That is what I want to know. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And I guess that is going to be the last call we will take for the segments. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be wrapping up this segment right away.
Are you looking for an internet service that will make surfing on the internet an enjoyable one? Do you want a super fast connection to the internet? Look no further, as Eagles Internet Services is here for you, an effective internet service provider with 99% proven reliability for residential and office services. We provide unlimited internet bandwidth services of different bundles tailored to meet your desires and taste. It is reliable, affordable, with a wide coverage. You can locate them at Plot 1719 Cadastral Zone B, Kaura District, or you can call 081 33 121423 or 09065765969. Eagles Internet Service. Stay connected to everything you love.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
All right, welcome back, and thanks so much for keeping it locked in right here with us on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. And of course, you can go check us out on YouTube right now. We are streaming live right there. In case you want to see how beautiful my guest is looking, just go there. You will see her right sitting beside me on YouTube. And of course, thank you so much for joining the conversation. At this note, I'm just going to take your final thoughts to wrap up this segment right away.
Okay, so this is my call to action for everybody. Because I feel that it's not about the problems, it's about the solutions and what we all can do. So I'll start by education. Please, like the last caller said, Nigeria is your business.
Of course.
If you like Japa for 20 years,
you
Nigeria
come back.
is your business. You might not even come back, but Nigeria, see, that stamp Nigerian is on you.
It's on
in
you.
your DNA. You cannot deny it. So the quicker you decide to make Nigeria your business and you engage whatever way you can, the better for you. So, as much as you see, I'm not interested, like I said when we started, whether you engage, whether you don't engage, every decision, every policy, every action that is taken in Nigeria affects you. You see this price hike, let me tell you, that policy you said, me, I'm not a vote, whether I vote, whether I no vote, they will choose who. This is the problem. This thing that we're saying, food is cost, waiting, Gary has reached, it is part of the problem.
Of
so
course.
you that did not vote,
Yes.
now you cause am. Again, please, media, I beg you with God, review your ethics. Have values, standards, and principles. Stay on a story, not who is wearing what clothes and all of that. Look, there are issues, serious issues in Nigeria. Pick, if you're on a beat, stay on it. Drive it home. Hold these leaders, hold these citizens to their neck. Citizens, it's not just about leaders. We have civil servants who go to work by 11 and close by 2. And you say there is no work now. Do you know that legislators make policies? It is civil servants that implement policies. So when we say policies are not working, we have good policies, but it's just that we are not implementing them well. It's civil servants that are the reason. And executive, when I say executive, ministries, all the ministries we have, all the commissions, all the civil servants, whatever office you work, you are responsible for implementing every policy. So let me ask you this, as a civil servant, do you even know what your job description is? I know a lot of civil servants have not even, they don't know if they are project officers, M&E people. The first time they heard M&E officer or project or HR is from NGO people, because NGO, we carry it on our head. You have a job description. Go back to your letter of appointment. Check what your job description is. If you go to the office, don't say there is no work. Look at what you can do. Check for policies that exist in Nigeria that has to do with your ministry, your commission, wherever you work. If you're in private sector, if you're in the NGO sector, what is the thematic focus of your organization? What policies relate to this? How can you bring about solutions, practical solutions that will bring sustainable development? Who are the people you can partner with? Leverage partnerships. Some of the things we say as ministries or people is, there is no money. Let me give an example. Do you know that we are sitting on wealth in Nigeria and we don't use it, but we like to call them out anytime there is problem? Every gathering I go for, every conference, workshop, meeting, or even on radio, you hear people say, we have National Orientation Agency. They are not doing anything. Let me ask you as a ministry. Let me ask you as a worker in any organization. Has your office ever said, we work in environment, climate, we have a program going on, we have sensitization, there's climate change everywhere. Let's call National Orientation Agency, their Department for Community Engagement or Mobilization. Let's educate them on what climate change is about. Then they go and educate their staffs in whatever local government or state. National Orientation has offices in 774 local governments in Nigeria, meaning they have more reach than any organization in Nigeria. And they have locals in those places who speak the language, know the people, and the people trust them.
Of course.
So, National Orientation Agency, don't say, National Orientation, they are not doing their job. They are just random staff who have their own specialization.
Yeah.
So, don't expect me, for example, if I'm a National Orientation staff, to know climate, to know health, to know finance, to know. They are not that. They need to be educated by people who are working in this specific area. So ministries, I'm calling you. NGOs, I'm calling you. Political parties, I'm calling you. Religious leaders, traditional leaders, everybody in every sector, engage National Orientation. They do not have specialized budget for these things. They have budget for administrative work and statutory. So if you need them to work with you on a project, fund them. You have budget line for publicity. Every ministry commission has budget line for publicity and all. What are you using that money for? Release it to NOA, educate them, and make sure they drive information to the citizens. Make sure as executive arm of government you are implementing. Citizens, you have phones, you have social media. If you don't know how to go about the formal process of tracking projects or budgets, please follow budget, follow tracker, follow Yaga, follow Enough is Enough, follow ProMat, follow, see, Code Connected Development. There are too many, I can't even remember them now. Go, follow these people. There's Dean Initiative. There's what we call open government partnership that is going on right now, which is focused on government data, open data access. Everything you're doing, let the citizens know. Engage digital governance. Let there be a hotline that citizens can engage with. These are things we can do. What else can we do? I would say that for lawmakers, please, in drafting policies, consult. Don't sit down and just pick a random thing that you think a country somewhere is using well. We are not America. I know we like to use that. We are not Asia. Yes, they developed, they did. Nigeria is not that. We have our complexities. We have our uniqueness.
Yeah.
Leverage your strengths, leverage your people. If you want to solve a problem, a people's problem, ask the people what the problem is. Don't assume you know it just because you're living with them. And ask them, how do you want me to solve it? Who should we engage? Review this thing time after time. Feedback mechanism is very important. Communication, very. Open communication, transparency, accountability, very important.
All right, thank you so much. I see that you are already taking the issue of everything that is happening to heart. Probably coming down. Don't worry, I'll give you a little bit of water after the show. All right, people, that is the voice of Zigwe Takwe. She is a good governance advocate and a humanitarian activist with experience in project management advocacy in the areas of public policy, gender inclusion, civic participation. There are much, but of course, that is who she is. And Civic Matters right here is brought to you by ProMat Foundation. And ProMat Foundation is making sure that citizens and their elected representatives, of course, get the proper functioning of a democratic society that we all want. All right, so you can go follow them on our social media handles at Civic Matters. Civic Matters, hashtag Civic Quiz. There's also a quiz in their social media handles. And of course, the question for the quiz this week is, what are the best practice for citizens to engage effectively with their representatives? I'll take that again. What are the best practices for citizens to engage effectively with their representatives? And then also, how can civic education be improved to enhance citizens' engagement? How can civic education be improved to enhance citizens' engagement? Also, what role do digital platforms play in facilitating engagement between citizens and their elected representatives? Now, you're going to answer that and send to their social media handles. You tag them at Civic Quiz, right? At Civic Quiz on their social media handles. All right, so you'll see them on Facebook, on IG, on X, at Civic Quiz. Okay, at Civic Matters. I beg your pardon. So you respond to that question right there and have it sent to them or tag them on their social media handles at Civic Matters. And this is where we get to draw the curtain on the Civic Matters today. Thank you so much for being part of the show, and thank you for calling, and thank you, Zikwe.